Every time. Hello, world. Another great show coming at you live. It is Zach, the GOAT, on the No Brainer Show.
Do you
Sorry,
see
I got a
the?
little thrown off because it started counting down and I thought it was already on live. And anyway, I had a whole spiel going and I blew it. Anyway, welcome. Everybody jump on in. You guys were commenting last week. We had some great stuff going on. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Let me first of all welcome you guys to the show, and now let me introduce my co-host, the one with the toast, D-Rec. In effect,
Yo,
what up, brah?
your my studio says Big Daddy Zach's it doesn't say what of yours, but you apparently you have ownership of something with an apostrophe. Big Daddy Zach's is experiencing issues.
Well, I got it here, and it's telling me
Do you have something to share with us or?
I don't know. Go on YouTube and see if we're live.
Yeah, we
Please.
are. We're
Okay,
good.
you can see us. Good. All right. Well, then I have no issues. And and our in studio guest who likes to drop in and hang out with his wang out, Chris Master
What's up?
Jams.
What up? Whoop,
What's
whoop.
up, Playa? I was talking to a young lady who's going to be a guest of ours in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've got the next 3 weeks booked, by the way, D-Rec.
Yeah.
And she was saying, she was asking when she'd get the recording and everything. I told her how we do it, and she'll have it the next day. Blah blah blah. I said we are working on live. We're actually going live tonight. We practice on Tuesdays. I don't know that I'm ready to do live as an interview forum. Maybe. I like to do that recorded so we can edit and clean it up and everything. I like just for the three of us knuckleheads to go live so everybody can see our fun side, I guess. I don't know.
Why did she say she wanted to go live for the?
No. She was just asking when she was going to get it, and I said, "Well, we don't do live just yet." And she's like, "Well, no, I didn't expect you did. Just wondering when I'm going to get the link." And I said, "Well, you'll get it when I send it to you." No, I said, "No, I'll send it the next day." I said it goes to my editor, she cleans it up, and then I'll send it over. So, there you go. So there. Hey,
So
Chris.
there.
Hey, Chris. What up, homie?
What up, brother?
How's the home inspection world?
Good. Yeah, seems to be fairly consistent right now. So I'm not complaining. Yeah.
Well, good.
I just had I actually just turned one down, which is the first time I've done that in a while. But
Whoa.
it was for good reason. It was like an 8,000 square foot property, and they needed it done this week, and my schedule just didn't fit it. Plus, I usually that's a gargantuan house. It's something you should really have two people there for, in my opinion. Not saying you couldn't get it done, but you're really stretching yourself thin to do a quality job for somebody with one person on an 8,000 plus square foot house built in 1995. Like it's just so I had to pass, but that's okay.
Chris, I'm
But
going to need you to do
otherwise,
that.
the question
I'm going to need you
seems
to do
like
that 8,000 square foot house on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. I'm going to need that taken care of.
yeah, okay.
How
Good
long
luck.
would that usually take?
I mean, that size house, you should probably, with two guys, you should be there 4 or 5 hours to do a good job.
Yeah.
To do a good job. If you're going to burn, I mean, I'm not saying somebody couldn't go burn through it in a couple hours, but they're not going to get all the data and do a good job. There's just no way. It's too much square feet to look at.
Right.
And what are you charging for? Are you like 1,500 at that point? I mean, is it pretty?
It just depends on what the add-ons are. I mean, in a 1995 house, they're going to need wind mitigation, 4-point. If they ask for termite, that's that big of a house, you could be getting up close to $2,000
Wow.
with add-ons. If it's
Sure.
just the inspection, yeah, you're probably right in the ballpark there, $1,400.
So what do you think? Like,
Do you
let
know
me
what?
ask you a question no one can really answer because I just want your input. Like, what do you? The last week and a half, right, or 2 weeks or whatever, stuff has kind of flip flop, right? In terms of what you're doing in the industry, you're staying busy.
Or,
What
yeah.
what? But I don't like externally. The interest rate's the same. World turmoil's kind of at the same. Like, what do you think's schools starting, not getting out? So Why do you think, or do you just think
it's-
it's just people are just can't wait anymore?
I think it's that. I think you just like typically April and May are very busy months, and they were not. So it just could be the lull of those other months that are normally full, where people are finally pulling the trigger.
So you think potentially a pent up demand?
I don't know about the demand as much as that buyers have been stubborn about coming down on their prices. I mean,
Mhm.
sellers. And so maybe they're finally starting to budge. Maybe they're tired of paying the mortgage, or they want it sold, and they're tired of buyers walking away because they won't come down. So maybe, I think the prices have come down a little bit. I would have to check that, but I think it's just, at some point the dam, the water's gonna push through. So people are still moving here. People still want to be here.
I'm not sure why.
Although we don't know why.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Have y'all seen the traffic?
I just was stuck in it. So yes.
Yes. Did you send me that? Did you send that picture, or was that Derek?
Yes, sir. That was
Oh,
the 417
Ew.
backing up from the Gaylord Palms exit all the way back to the toll, the westbound lane toll. Now it's backing up when people are getting off there around the 5 o'clock mark.
He said,
which is
Gaylord.
Really crazy.
So dig this. Saturday, Lorianne and I went down to my acupuncturist because she was getting acupuncture. I convinced her to do it, and it's down by Derek's shop. And on the way back, it took us a different way. It took us up I-4 because I guess the 429. When we left our house, the 429, there was a truck on fire at the exit by my house going north, and the 429 was backed up. They had it shut down at OBT, so making everybody get off at OBT, but it was backed up like way past. It was almost backed up to the 414. And so on the way back, we're coming through downtown, and I see there's traffic going westbound, and it was at a standstill from downtown all the way to Lee Road and starting to back up to Maitland Boulevard. And I was like, it's Saturday. What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there was a wreck. I didn't see it. I just saw the traffic, but good Lord. I don't know, even if they started trying to revamp the infrastructure here, do you think they could ever fix the problems we have?
I don't know. I don't know if the civil engineering can ever. I mean, I guess they could just build more and more and more roads, but that's the only thing that'll do it.
I think crazy. I think it's been. You guys can confirm or deny this, but to me, it seems like it's just been too many years where housing has led the pace in all infrastructure.
Yeah,
roads are behind, gas stations are behind. Well, not Publix, but just certain. Like I always say, take my community for example, right, Zach? Like probably from where I am to Magic Kingdom is probably 6 miles, right, by the way of the crow. That has to be 150,000 people. Okay. We have a Walmart gas station. And unless you go out on 535, there is nothing. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's weird. It seems like, and then like, if you guys just go by like newer strip malls being built, like how often do you look at a sign and it's like for lease office medical, $60 square foot per year. And it's like, what the hell? And you have like 19 dentists and like no Walmart and then no Crossroads. It's just so, I think people would have to just like stop moving here forever to catch up.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Where you live, when I'm working down there, exactly, trying to find gas is ridiculous. I know where the gas stations are, and I know to get gas before I get stuck down there. And then you're right, there's just so much being built, and they're building all these little strip centers and strip malls and dentist office, massage places, restaurants. I mean, they get supply and demand, but what about gas stations? There's that one gas station. There's that 7-Eleven on, what's it, 535?
Yes, by Lake Butler Boulevard. I go there all the time because it's only that or Walmart.
Is that the one where you pull into like the parking spot and the gas
Yeah,
pump?
it's a real goofy one. Yeah,
it is weird.
It's like this wasn't meant to be a gas station.
And then there's another one a little farther up that's between two buildings. They like put a couple pumps between two buildings and you go drive under the awning or whatever. I don't know. But then you have one on, I found one. What's the main road out of that neighborhood?
Out of what neighborhood?
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Independence Parkway.
I think it's on Independence.
Okay, yeah.
If you go east on Independence, away from Winter Garden, I think there's a gas station out there.
No, you're thinking of a different road.
Maybe.
No, there is not a gas station out there. No.
Maybe. Anyway, I found it one day because I was about to run out, and I just like GPS'd and gas station. It was one that was.
So I'm looking at just my area, it's probably about a 4-mile radius, and I'm counting like 9 dentist offices. And we've been to 2 or 3 just because I'm not going to comment on that, but 9 dentist offices.
If you need one.
What's that?
I have a great dentist if you need one in Celebration.
The thing is, I need a gas station.
Oh, well, there's a gas station there too.
My point was like we have dentists are great, right? How many people don't go to the dentist? Regardless, to me it seems out of whack. That's all. Like call me crazy, but I guess anyone I've ever talked to anywhere in my area would say the exact same thing. Like, yeah, we have 9 dentists, 13 estheticians, 7 nail salons,
3 Publix, 3.
Yeah, exactly. A Publix. Yeah. You have your Bridgewater Crossings, your Hamlin, and then your Stone or Avalon. Yeah.
3
yeah.
Publix.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's probably another one too I'm missing, which is fine, which is fantastic. But again, just that one gas station compared to the sheer volume of people it does, and they're only open till like 10 or 11 at night, right? So what all waking hours of being open, that gas station is a wait to get to a pump for the most part. It's wild.
Are you talking about the Walmart?
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing about the Walmart gas station. It doesn't take my company card.
That's annoying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
So you have to go out to, it's a different one. Yeah.
And when I drove the diesel truck, I don't think they have diesel at the Walmart gas station either.
So regardless, it's a shame because if I had about $17 million just stacked sitting behind me, I could literally just go Taco Bell there, gas station there. Like it would just be like, boom, free for, obviously we're live, so I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But if you just take a drive, you literally could come up with 8 or 9 businesses where you're like, why the hell isn't there one of these here?
Right.
Yeah.
And why the hell are there 6 Domino's?
Well, you guys need a Home Depot. You need a Lowe's. You need a Home Depot and Lowe's. Gas stations. Why don't they just build a Buc-ee's down there with 250 pumps? You'd be all right.
I know. You could. It'd be fine. The 429, the Turnpike right up there.
Well, how close are you to the Turnpike gas station?
The Turkey Lake thing?
Yeah.
Well, if I drive that way to work, it's not far at all. I mean, once I get on the Turnpike South, it's probably only 3 or 4 miles.
Oddly enough, I've gone there and found that gas is a lot of times cheaper.
Really?
Yeah. And if you want, you can go get a Nathan's hot dog and, bada bing.
Oh, that's cool. That's not a bad little treat.
I do like an Nathan's hot dog.
I do too.
Actually, but I think I told you I'm on the carnivore, and I have found that doing research, there's really no healthy hot dogs, but the most healthiest, closest to the carnivore that I can eat is a Sabrat's.
Not sure what that is, but
Sabrat. You never heard of Sabrat's?
No.
Obviously, you're not a hot dog guy.
There's a lot of ways I could take that, but yeah, no, not. I mean,
you only like sausage.
Do you know the foods that you do like, you do enjoy, you do like the certain brands of them, but you just never ever truly actually crave? I never crave a hot dog, but I love hot dogs, but I have never had a craving for a hot dog as a grown adult.
Well,
So it's just one of those things. I don't know.
How about sausage? Do you crave sausage?
Oh, you know it, man.
Oh Lord.
Not as much as Chris, but the occasional is,
Look, I'll put a spin on actually because you're from up north, so you probably like kibasi, don't you? And that's not being joking. That's
not, growing up Dutch, no, but when I met my wife and they were Polish and Ukrainian, and I'd been exposed to it because West Michigan has a large Polish population, German, all that stuff. Man, it's like dude, I don't want to compare it to this. I'm not going to do that. It's like one of those things that the first time you do it, you don't really like it and or think you're ever going to do it again or eat it again. And then like the second or third, you're like, and then by like the 12th time, you're like, this is my favorite food ever. So it's kind of like, that's the story I have with that.
Did they make it the proper Polish way with sauerkraut and cabbage?
Yeah, we actually had our area of one part of town in Grand Rapids, the west side, was so Polish that there were 3 or 4 traditional old school meat market butchers, and the people would literally argue between each other of has the best kielbasa, and they had Pulaski Day. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that influence there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a Ukrainian household, and so we had kielbasa a lot. And but yeah, sauerkraut and kibasi. Woo.
Yep.
Don't get locked in a bedroom with somebody after they eat that.
Glubki.
Of course.
It's like the beef and the grape leaves and
and then there's holubchi.
Pierogies.
Oh, pierogies. Oh.
If they're right. Yep.
They have, first of all, pierogies cannot be baked. My aunt used to make baked ones.
You got to pan fry them, man.
Pan fried with onions and butter.
Yep.
My sister liked them with sour cream, but no. I had someone actually ask me, they're like, what is a pierogi? I said, a Polish ravioli.
Kind of.
I don't know how to explain it. It's potato stuffed potato.
Yeah, like a gnocchi ravioli.
Did you ever have that, Chris? Do you know what a pierogi is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you're from the Northeast.
Connecticut, baby. Born and raised.
But what are you again?
Lived around a bunch of Slavic people.
What's your ethnicity?
What, buddy?
What's your ethnicity, though?
Oh gosh, mixed bag. Mostly Viking, I think.
Viking? What the?
I'm being ridiculous. There's so many slices. There's nothing prominent.
So if you have you ever done JB or 23andMe or what is it called?
Ancestry.com.
Yeah, those, the things where it takes like your pee or a blood prick and then
no, you wipe a cotton swab in your mouth.
Well, I don't remember. I've never done it. My wife's done it, but I haven't. Are you one of those guys that's like dominant Scandinavian and then like 3% of you for some reason unknown to man is Ugandan or like Congo?
You're from Africa?
No, I don't
whoa, someone got a load there.
I don't remember what mine was. I did it so long ago. I did it I think I did it when it first came out in like 2018 or 2017. I'd have to look to even see. But it was exactly what I expected. It was just like a little bit, 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 a little bit. Nothing prominent, I don't think.
So Lorianne and I are both adopted. And so for Christmas one year, we decided to do Ancestry. I wanted to know what I was. My mom has told me since I was born, I'm Jewish. She says I've negotiated since the day they got me. And so I got to be Jewish. I said, okay, whatever. And she swears because she thought she saw the paperwork and it had my real birth name on it. And she thought it was a Jewish name. Anyway, long story short, I did the Ancestry. There's not a drop of Jews that in me at all.
Interesting.
I am German, Irish, English, Scottish, French.
Wow.
Like I'm pure cracker. Then my wife gets to hers done and she's all Scandinavian. So she's like a fancy cracker. She's like pure white. You don't get much whiter than her. Funny story though. We're sitting there and we're in bed, just chit-chatting, doing our usual. And she goes, huh, this must be my parents. And she found her parents on Ancestry. So she found her birth parents and, I have not found mine. I have. I found family members and found out that my birth mom died in 93. So she missed out on the greatness.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so man. we have met, and she reached out to.
I don't think I knew that about you.
No,
I don't think so.
she reached out to her mom, her birth mom, and her birth mom was like, "Oh my gosh, blah blah blah. I'm so glad we connected, but I'm in the middle of moving. We're moving to Florida." And Lorianne's like, "Oh, where are you moving to?" She's like, "Have you heard of some town called Kissimmee?" Like, so needless to say, her mom now lives in the Villages, but needless to say, we've met her birth mom, not her birth father. They went their separate ways. He lives in Texas, but he's just got his own life. He's never done anything. And I don't have any siblings that I found on Ancestry. I have some cousins and stuff like that, but no, I have half brothers, 2 half brothers from my birth mom's second marriage. And it's funny being adopted. When I reached a certain age, my parents pulled me aside and said, "Look, we know if it's interesting to you and you want to find her, go ahead, find your birth parents. We're not going to be offended by it, but you still know who your real parents are." And I was like, "No, I'm going to go change my name." I mean, obviously, if they were multimillionaires and they're the king and queen of somewhere and said, "Hey, we want you to take over, you got to change your name." Well, guess what? But but no, we so yeah, I thought that was interesting. I knew I was, I knew I had German in me. I mean, blonde hair, blue eyed, it just doesn't happen by accident. And I did have that 3%, 2% Italian. My mom was very excited. She was like, "Okay, you got a little Paisan in you, so you're good." Because my mom did Ancestry and she came back 99.9% Italian. I don't know what the other percentage was. She's convinced it's Jewish. I said it's African because her father's from Sicily. And if you know anything about Sicily, they had a lot of African descents in Sicily.
Yeah, didn't it used to be like a lot closer to Northern Africa? Is that the theory? Or isn't it really? Isn't okay?
Boot,
I don't know. I don't know if
the
I'm
boot,
talking.
the bottom of the boot is close to Northern Africa.
It already is close, right? So like, isn't it like really close to like somewhere in like, is it Morocco or let me pull up the map?
No,
Like a lot of people came over that way.
Morocco's by Spain.
Sorry. No, it's not. Portugal is, dude. You were wrong.
No, my mom went to Spain and she took a boat over to Morocco.
No. Well, no.
I mean, Morocco. I don't know nothing, but I do know certain things.
Morocco is northern tip of Africa. Portugal's by Spain.
And it's by
the strait, yeah, okay. So Italy's, yeah, it's by Tunisia. And it's only like 50 miles. Yeah, it's close.
So it's like going to Cuba?
Yeah.
Or actually, it's even closer because Cuba's what, 90 miles?
But the Straits of Gibraltar at the mouth of the Mediterranean is Morocco and Spain, and that's literally, dude, that's like freaking 6 miles. That's insane.
Did I not just say that Morocco is next to Spain?
Yeah, I took it as in the context it was bordering it. So I was
6 miles away. It's pretty close.
Right. Like I was just trying to say northern. It's on a different continent though, so I was trying to say like northern Africa, I guess.
Oh no, I think Spain, and I think from what my mom told me, she went to visit, and she specifically went to Spain for a while, but she went over to Morocco for day trips, and it's a very, very Muslim country, which would make sense because a lot of Africa is Muslim. So
northern,
yes, northern. And they're killing Christians left and right.
Probably always have.
Murder. Oh, and then in South Africa, they're killing all the white farmers. It's pretty rough over there. I'm not planning any trips to Africa.
Isn't that crazy? It's like if you think of all these places you want to go. Hey, we were supposed to talk about traveling outside the U.S. anyway, right?
That's what I'm bringing up. That's how I was segueing into it.
Yeah. But it's like, of all the places, yeah, there's definitely like, I mean, whose bucket list would not include like the pyramids, and the Sphinx? It's just crazy, awesome stuff. But it's just it's a hard place to go, man. It's not safe.
Are you talking about Egypt?
I'm talking about Africa in general. There are very few like super safe parts of Africa. There's hostility in so many of these countries.
So a very
civil
good friend
war,
of mine,
government corruption, lack of resources, just it's it's I don't know. I would love to go there scenery wise, safari wise, just but the travel wise, I can't even imagine it.
I'm gonna ask him. A buddy of mine went to Africa for his first marriage honeymoon, and he said it was amazing. But they went on safaris and all that, so I got to figure out where he went.
Well, yeah, you can there's parts of there's safari areas that are great. It's probably I don't know. But
Would you go?
oh yeah. But you need a private guide.
So you've not been to Africa yet?
No. I'd love to do a safari, but I would only do it with like a private guide, like a private, like the safe way. And to do it safe and nice is very, very expensive. So like I've heard like a week safari, if you do everything the safe, nice way, is 25, 30K just for that, which is like just that, So you're talking a 40K trip, which is just like, I've done expensive trips, but that's pretty. That's price. That's a high end trip.
So the reason I was going to bring this up, two reasons, because you're a world traveler. How about you, Chris? Are you a world traveler?
No. I've hardly traveled at all in my life. I've been all over the U.S., but I've only been to Canada.
I've been to Mexico, Canada, the Bahamas, England, Scotland. We took the tube over.
The tube.
And France. I've been to France.
Did you go to Waverley Station in Edinburgh?
I don't remember. It was in 1986.
What the hell's wrong with you?
I only remember is I went to go buy a kilt and it was like 400 pounds. And I was like, I'm not spending that much money on a kilt.
Well, for a real one.
It was a very real heavy one.
Now you can get a tourist version for like 60, 70 wool kilt.
Well, they didn't have it because I wanted to come home wearing a skirt and see how badly my dad whooped me across the neighborhood. But I've been to 48 of the 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go to Alaska. I really have no desire to go to Hawaii.
Hawaii's awesome until you go to like even a better Pacific island.
Well, like my mom went and she's like, Hawaii's like Florida. It's hot, and like New Jersey, it's expensive.
It is expensive.
So, I mean, let me tell you what. 2 weeks ago, we went to Miami. 3 weeks ago. And I don't know why you got to leave America. There's so much culture in this country that you could just see it anywhere. It was like going literally, and this is not a slap to Miami, but literally it was like going to a different country.
I agree and disagree. I agree that there's more culture there anyway, but I disagree. It's pretty much purely Latin culture. Some Indian, some Asian, but if you want Latin culture, you do not need to leave Florida. The state of Florida, you don't need to leave the state of Florida. You're in Latin America.
Right.
I mean, some lady yelled at me Sunday because I didn't have anyone at the store speak Spanish, and I had to say, I don't know a respectful way to say that this is America, and I speak English. I'm so sorry. Like that's you don't need to leave Florida to experience Latin America in some sense culturally.
Well, so
but other cultures you do.
The capital of Puerto Rico is right down the street from us. It's Ponciana.
I thought Kissimmee was.
Well, Ponciana is in Kissimmee.
Yeah.
And then the capital of Cuba is in Miami.
Yep.
And then the other capital of Haiti is in Miami because they have both Haitian.
I don't see a lot of Cubans in Orlando. Isn't that strange?
They don't come this far north.
I know, but the Venezuelans, the Haitians, the Puerto Ricans, they all come north, but the Cubans don't.
Well, Puerto Ricans, first of all, Puerto Ricans come south from New York.
Yeah, New Yorkers.
Did you guys have a big population of Hispanic in Connecticut?
For me?
Yeah.
No. Not. I left there, and you have to remember though, I left there in 1988.
Yeah, there probably wasn't even a Hispanic kid in your high school in 1988 in Connecticut.
Well, he also lived in the rich white neighborhood too, didn't he?
I mean, Connecticut's a pricey place to live, is it not? I know Massachusetts is.
Biff and Buffy and Chauncey. Chauncey, we're going to the club today.
It's just a high income, high,
Anywhere on
price
the
to live.
Northeast is a high income,
Yeah, pretty much.
expensive, very expensive place to live. I mean,
Pretty much.
I was actually wanting the house I grew up in, and my mom was going to give it to me. She needed to sell it. I don't know what she was thinking. She was going to give it to me, but anyway, she said she'd give it to me, but she goes, "You can't afford it." I said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Well, first of all, the taxes are like $16,000." I'm like, "What? $16,000 a year?"
Yep.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong. Maybe it's 12,000, but whatever. Still, it's
You're probably not wrong.
when I moved to Florida.
What's the
first
address?
house-
Don't
What'd you
say it.
say?
Yeah, we can look it up.
I can tell you the taxes right now. What's the address? But
So the first house we bought in Florida was in 1996 in Altamont Springs, Altamonte, and my dad was stymied, baffled, befuddled. The tax was $1,100 a year. He's like, "What?" Because I'll just pay for it for you. There you go. I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, sorry." Figured they pay like $1,100, $1,200 a month for taxes.
yeah, more than that if it's 16 grand.
Yeah. I don't,
Well,
like I said, I could be
it's-
wrong.
Stuff has really changed. I mean, we came
And-
from 10 to 12 grand a year in taxes in Michigan to when we bought this house was like 4 or 5 grand. But then before, you have to homestead it, and it gives them that first year to jack it through the roof, and they juiced it up to like 8,600 or 9 grand or something like that. So it's like, okay, well, now we're not really that far off anymore, plus insurance is 4 times the cost of up north. So, it all has its
I mean,
ups and downs.
the property taxes in Central Florida are not very different than Connecticut now. I mean, they're
No,
really
and
not.
in
Where
what
you're
that
living,
just-
Derek,
What's that?
same. I said, where you live, property taxes are, I mean, I could go buy a 1 acre place up in Connecticut and pay 5-6 grand a year in taxes. It's the same you're paying.
Yeah. So I mean,
Are you
it's like,
considered Winter Garden, Derek?
yeah,
Yeah, see, Winter Garden's expensive.
and that's just a COVID thing, right? I mean, before COVID, that wasn't the case, right? Before the mass migration.
Correct.
Yeah.
100% correct.
Winter Garden and Ocoee used to be rather very reasonable to live, kind of like a Popka.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then during COVID, the great COVID boom, they took off.
Well, it's that melt of all those corners there. You've got a sliver of Windermere, a sliver of Winter Garden, a sliver of Claremont, Four Corners, Kissimmee. They all meet
Right.
in that in that area over there, and so that I think just that taste of Windermere made Winter Garden just get. It was like Windermere's sister. Like, oh well.
Well, like where I live, it's they literally call it Wintermere.
Yeah. I mean, like
Just 'cause
Summerport.
I'm close. Downtown Windermere from me is 6 or 7 miles, maybe more. And Windermere is just over the tree line in my neighborhood, 0.2 away.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
like Summerport. Summerport over there
Correct.
is literally surrounded by Winter Garden, but they call it Windermere.
Summerport's Windermere, and we're literally it's
The sewer
0.2 due east from my house is Summerport.
the sewer grates, the round sewer tops in
Mhm.
Summerport say Winter Garden.
Is it really?
Really?
Swear to God.
Is it a Winter Garden zip code?
No, they still has the Windermere zip code.
That's crazy. Yeah, and even the high school, the Windermere High School is Bridgewater and 535. I mean, that's
Yeah.
literally 2.5 miles from my house,
Yep.
which is insanity because that's the main high school, right?
Yeah, and that's
It's
what
just
I
because
mean.
they probably built everything around. Obviously there's Isleworth and downtown Windermere and Lake Butler Sound and all these crazy places, but then like
Kings Point.
they had to have built everything around Keens Point because that is just what I believe that must be a massive neighborhood, right?
It's big.
Very high end,
big.
very massive.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, that's like the spot, and that's right.
is that now you said the biggest house? Would you say that's probably the per square foot, the biggest houses in the area?
Where are you saying in Kings Point?
Windermere.
I mean, there's some big ones in there for sure. I think it's more just probably the most expensive, other than Winter. That next to maybe Winter Park has some areas too. When you get out into the lakes,
For sure.
so those are your big competitions for high money real estate in the Central Florida area. Would be that Windermere, and by Windermere I mean like the old Windermere. Inward, Isleworth, Kings Point, downtown, old school Windermere. Where it's like locked in, nothing
Lake
changes.
Lake Down, I mean, they have billionaire houses on that lake that are literally like 20 to 30,000 square feet, a dime a dozen. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that said, even down by Poinciana to Reunion, there's all these like, Chris will know exactly what I'm talking about because you've done these, but like the castle vacation rental houses that are like 12,000 square feet.
12,000 square feet. Yeah, but they're just
a billion people to sleep in.
But they're just boxes. They're just boxes. They're literally just giant.
There's no open floor plan, so it feels like you're in a box in a 12,000 square foot house. It's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very very interesting.
I don't know why anybody would live in Champions Gate.
We almost bought a house there migrating from Michigan in 2020, and it was only going to be like $320,000 for like 2,300 square feet, really nice, brand new. And I'm sure that house would be double now, but the main thing was like, thank God, here's why not to just buy a house sight unseen instead of rent for a minute. Is because you can't get in and out of Champions Gate. Like that would be the worst, most hellish. If you're going northeast, Chris, you get a taste of it.
Oh yeah,
you get 60% of the pie, but imagine now going even a little bit further southwest, like that crawl for an extra 20 minutes. That's hell.
Yeah,
every freaking day.
Have you ever seen that area of I-4 not bumper to bumper both ways?
Only Sunday at like 11 p.m. No, I'm serious. We went last July. We went to Clearwater just for a night to see a comedy show, and we left on a Saturday late morning, early afternoon, and it took us like 2 hours to get to Clearwater Beach. We came home. We were at the hotel just one night, but we stayed on the beach all day, and we didn't start driving home till like 10 p.m. and we were home, I think, in 55 minutes.
Wow.
Because you just do the I-4 to 429, boom, I'm home. The traffic, and then that's the only time I've ever, and I don't go to Tampa that much, maybe 6-7 times, or that corridor I don't drive that much too, but it's super rare, dude.
There's got to be ways to get around it because
not really. Not if you live down there.
Down
there really
Fort Myers or Punta Gorda. Oh, that was the part we hated. The 429 would dump us right off, and we'd just start seeing the taillights already lighting up.
My store manager lived just outside of Celebration, coming to work every day, and the best way for him was to go Turnpike to 429.
Yeah,
they had an on to 429 right there, and it's an extra like 12 miles. But it was only like a 45 minute trip. But whenever he would do a standard morning or rush hour commute on I-4, it's just, hour and a half.
Where did he live?
I don't know the exact name. It's like Indian Ridge or something. It's very close to Celebration, just on the south end of Disney World.
And he would take the Turnpike because he'd have to go 192 to get to the what is the other road, the big road down there?
There isn't much.
You got the 417, 192, 27. It goes up to Claremont.
Osceola ends at Animal Kingdom Lodge, dude. They don't go through nothing.
Right, but you can jump on Osceola Parkway the other way to go jump on the Turnpike.
No, well, but that's
farther
far.
Up. Yeah, it's all the way up.
And then you're going through Kissimmee, which is like the Turnpike in Osceola is one of the most hellish traffic places there is.
Well, where would he grab the Turnpike then?
No, he would do he had a 429 on ramp just outside of his neighborhood. He'd go north.
Oh yeah. No, that's
429 to the Turnpike south.
I used to live right next to the 429 off of 192.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the quickest way was an extra like 12 miles.
Oh, he would take the turnpike off the 429
yeah.
and then come back. Okay, I got you.
That's extreme, man. Like
I don't know why
even for me too. I can get to work fast at the turnpike, but it's extra 6 miles and $7 each way. It's just ludicrous. It's a fantastic option, but the mileage and the money.
I'm just trying to think what other road he could have cut over. Like
there isn't
Sand Lake, but then he's going to hit traffic.
Right. It's worse now with Epic too. It's awful. Like it takes an extra like 7 minutes to cut across Sand Lake.
Oh, if you get off I-4 in Sand Lake, you're just know you're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'll cut over from Apopka Vineland sometimes. It used to be 12 minutes from there to OBT where my shop is. Now it's over 20. It doesn't matter the time of day. In going westbound at night, forget about it. You go Kirkman North to Conroy Windermere because you can't move on Sand Lake there. So it's even in the few years I've been here, like it's just gotten like I know what to avoid. It's just no way. I'm not sitting there. I'm not just like Chris had tonight. I'm not just going to sit there for 20 minutes. Like,
I'd like to thank everybody for moving down here and causing all this.
I'm the problem, but still, like,
Chris, what you moved to Florida in 88?
No, I moved to Florida in 91. I went from Connecticut to Indiana, went to college there, and then came down to Florida in 91. And we started off in Ocala because we have horses.
Would you come down on spring break and like, we're not going back?
No, actually what happened was it's a boring story, but we just met some people at a horse show that lived in Ocala, Florida, and we had no idea it was a huge horse capital, and we had been horse people our whole lives, and came down and checked. My parents flew down and checked it out, and they were like, "Oh, we're buying a house in Florida. We're moving, getting away from these winters, and tired of breaking ice out of the water buckets." And I was like, "Okay."
So here we
go
on a farm in Connecticut.
Yeah.
How close were you to the water?
I was in Madison, Connecticut, so pretty close.
I mean, Connecticut's not very wide, so everybody's close to the ocean, I guess, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like as far as like Madison is a coastal town. Like it has its own beaches.
So what's the town? Oh, we used to go to where the harbor is, where the
New Haven, Bridgeport.
Everything he's naming.
No, the dock is I'm trying to think of the name of the dock. We used to go there to see the boats come in and anyway.
Up by the Groton, like the sub base?
No.
Where the military base is?
No, it's a tourist place. It's where
the
Mystic Seaport. There you go.
Oh, Mystic Pizza.
I don't know about Mystic Pizza. That was
Julia Roberts' first movie.
There was a movie, yeah. Now, here's a funny story. Speaking of podcasting in Ocala, I was at the Podcast Expo, and I met the guy with the most podcasts recorded to date. I think he's at 8,000 or something. He's a guy out of Ocala that does horse podcasting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm like, he's got the most podcasts, and he has a huge, huge audience. And literally, I'm seeing this guy walking around. He looked like a cowboy, and I'm like, "Where's the old cowboy from?" And turns out he does a podcast in Ocala about horses. I was like, "That's crazy," but I guess that's a very serious niche that people like. When you go to this Podcast Expo, if you guys go this year, you'll just walk around and talk to people and ask what their show's about. And there's some of the most unique things that I've never thought I'd ever hear of in a show. And probably I wouldn't sit and listen to anyway, because it's not something that interests me, but they have a great following.
Because you're going to have the most loyal, interested, engaged people. You just have a lesser pool to choose from, but that pool is way more active. Of people, of audience, right?
Right. Like this one lady did doodles. And I'm thinking, she's doodling, drawing. She's like, no, like Labradoodles, Burma doodles, she talked about dogs, but only doodles. And she had a big following and she had a pretty good show. I was like, that's crazy. I don't know that I would ever listen to that unless I was a big doodle person. And I'm not a, what do they call those dogs? I know both. It's the actual term is mixed breed, but they call them designer dogs.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not a designer dog guy. I
Yeah.
mean, could you see me walking around with a doodle or a little min pin or something? I don't think so. I see Derek as a cat guy. I also know he has cats, but I could see him like Dr. Evil sitting in his office looking at his turbo video. Why are they
I
not
don't know.
tinting faster?
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, that
They
happens.
must tint faster.
They must. Yeah, no shit.
All right. So we asked Chris, we asked you about the biggest that house that you were talking about, the 8,000 square foot. What's something huge that would take your guys a long time to tint, like an RV or a bus or something?
It's not really ever size for that much. It's much more about prep cutting. I mean, like if you had a huge 4 massive flat windows, that's easier than like, well, here's a storefront with a couple small windows and you have to cut around the counter and around the vine. Like it's more of a like a full size Cadillac Escalade versus a I don't know, like a really tight German car, like that smaller, tighter. It's not really about square footage usually. It's more about the actual difficulty and nuances of the job. So it like I don't know how to compare it to Chris, but like if he had a 8,000 square foot house that had like the bare minimum requirements versus a 3,000 that had every single add-on in the book, right?
Right.
Right. So same kind of thing. Like it's not necessarily size.
Okay.
I figured you would just say Tesla Model X.
Tesla Model X sucks. Yep. It does suck. It does suck. Yeah. But it's not because of the size of the windshield for sure, but it's like those two front doors are some of the most difficult doors to tint. Same with like Range Rovers, because they're so tight to the seal that you end up creasing it so much. So those are tough, yeah. But that's not the most. Yeah, that's a lot of glass, but it's not the most windows of any vehicle, but they're tough.
Speaking of vehicles, I was watching a video the other day on a Lamborghini Huracan. Huracan, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Do you know what an oil change costs on that thing?
Probably $1,200.
$3,750.
Just the filter and the oil.
Oil change, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So the guy did it. The guy did it himself, even though Lamborghini highly recommended he wouldn't. He says you should not do it yourself. First of all, there's 6 drain plugs, so you got to drain the whole thing. Anyway, long story short, he did it for like $135 versus paying them to do it for $3,000. But I guess if you're gonna, Chris must be getting naked for our second part of the show.
Hopefully.
Woohoo!
So what did you want to talk about traveling wise?
My friend texted me. Have you been to Mexico?
Yes.
Where did you go?
Oh, I've only been to Cancun, Playa del, all the touristy crappy areas, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel, Yucatan. Nothing.
Have you been? So you've been
nowhere pretty. There's parts of Mexico like up in the mountains and stuff. It's like Saltillo and.
So, but you've been to. Oh, he's not naked. Dang it!
Maybe next time.
Having a.
We were hoping.
Okay.
You'd get naked.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why aren't you wearing pants?
Is this No Mas Pantalones, Chris? Anyway.
Did it go offline?
No, you're there.
Okay, there we go. I had a glitch. Sorry. Technical glitch on Chris's end.
You didn't even hear us.
I didn't hear anything in it, and everything. You guys were quiet, and it on my end it redid the countdown, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's weird. Crazy.
No, we thought you blacked out the screen because you were going to go get naked.
Oh, I mean, if it's a request,
it's not a request.
I get paid.
Maybe
it's
Derek.
A demand.
Derek's demanding get naked. Anyway, the long story. What I was talking about. The reason I wanted to talk about travel is my friend just got back from Mexico only to find out that his luggage had been routed through in Mexico and they stole everything.
His underwear.
Stole all his wife's jewelry, her wedding ring. I mean, everything got stolen.
I'm ready to say something offensive. I don't see any reason going almost anywhere in Mexico for any purpose whatsoever.
Well, he went down for it was a wedding, so
yeah,
was
okay. So not to him, but to the wedding people, I don't see any reason.
right.
For
Why I would not do a destination wedding. If you're going to do a destination wedding, though, why would you choose Mexico? Go to the Bahamas.
Well, I think a lot of people choose Mexico, like Cancun, so they can go to an all-inclusive resort for really, really cheap and drink until they forget about life for a week. Well, that's cool, but why? I don't got to leave the country to go someplace where I don't need to see the light of day, you know? Because I mean, they don't leave it, which is fine, but that's your prerogative, and it's cheap. I get it, but I don't. Having been there only a few times, I kick and scream. No, I'm good. Nope.
Last time I went to Tijuana.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, that was in the 80s, and there was other reasons why we went to Tijuana.
Anywhere border too is just absolutely no. It'd be sweet to see Leon, Mexico City, Saltillo up in the mountain. Those are beautiful, but the touristy areas, no. I mean, it's guns, palm trees, ecstasy, and beer, and fake luxury, and
So anyway, no, he went down there and he got robbed, and I'm wondering, all right, how often does this happen when people go traveling, and what kind of recourse is there?
Nothing.
What recourse?
My guess would be.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. You're the world traveler, brah.
I don't go places like that, but
you just said you've been to Mexico.
Luggage, what's that?
You just said you've been to Mexico.
It's been a while since I've flown into Mexico. I will not go there unless I'm hopping off for a cruise for a moment or whatever it may be.
Okay.
But anyway, what are you saying? What are the concerns about people stealing luggage? Like TSA, like whatever their equivalent of TSA people, or like losing luggage, or what's the main?
No, I just found that, I didn't know how often this happened to people, and where could it happen anywhere, or is this Mexico is notorious for it?
Yeah, I think I would say it's more likely to occur in certain countries other than others, for sure.
Although I was really I don't want to use the word depressed, but I was uninspired when we went to the Bahamas, because we ported in Nassau, and to me, Nassau is a dump.
It's a dump. It's awful now.
Right. But you just go around the corner and you're on Paradise Island, and that's a whole different ballgame.
But again, it's just a facade, so it's like, stuff like that. If you know what's really going on, it's pretty sad, actually. Like it's essentially government corruption selling out to Chinese real estate to bring in illegal Haitian workers who abuse and kill people and to take all the jobs. And yeah.
Really?
It's becoming a very common story, and Nassau is probably the most classic large example, but there are a lot of violence that's happening too. So
right,
it's a facade. And
Chris, you've never been?
Where?
Bahamas.
No, I've never been on a cruise.
Well, they have.
And I've never been to the Bahamas either.
They have those cruises for your kind of people.
For what?
What kind of people is he?
He's
I don't know.
LGBTQ community.
Oh, you're hysterical.
The Rainbow
Bridge hysterical.
He's running around in a Speedo.
You're a big guy,
What's that?
I said they have now ones for us bears, us big guys. Big
yeah,
that's men who like big hairy men.
That's right.
Oh, it's disgusting, dude.
Somebody's got to love us.
I guess. No, for sure.
I mean, look, I'm married.
Ain't gonna be me though.
I'm married to a beautiful blonde. She loves me.
Yeah, she's got issues.
She does. No kidding. I tell everybody, when I met her, she was blind. Don't tell her I don't look like Brad Pitt. She hasn't figured it out yet.
No, like honestly, when it comes to safety in other countries, it's okay. So Chris, you're driving up in the ice up north, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous to drive, this and that. What is the number one or number two rule that saves you in most instances with a slippery road? What's the common thing that you do as a driver?
Stay home.
No. If you're driving, okay, so I'll just ruin it. But you
slow down.
You give space, right?
Oh,
Yeah, you slow down and give space,
You
right?
give
Bit
space. You
four-wheel
don't
drive.
jam on the brakes. You don't jam on the accelerator. You know where your outs are. You maintain space. And when you maintain space, even when you lose control or they do, you're usually okay in most instances. So traveling the world is similar in a sense that, I've heard people say, "Oh, the metro in this city or this country is so bad. There's pickpockets, there's gypsies," and there are, but the proper awareness and cultural education before you go will save you from 98% of that. So, like in a sense that where it's actually more safe because there's less violent crime. So, if you were to go in the metro in Paris, in your typical dumbass, non-cultured American, not learning about the language of the people before you go, and you've got a wide open bucket backpack on that's Gucci and someone takes your stuff, they're like, "How did that happen?" And it's like, "Are you serious, bro?" Like, it's so like to do it. The instances and cases I've seen read about are pretty much and they're good at it. Pickpockets are good. They distract, they get other people involved. But like bro, you put your wallet in your front pocket, you put your backpack up front, you don't, you tuck all you just it's really common sense stuff that will save you. Your awareness will save you in the majority of situations. And then when it comes to just in the middle of the night safety, most of those areas around the world that are first world countries are actually safer than US cities because they don't have that cultural independence that we have where everyone wants what someone else has to the same degree. It's not like, "I see you, Zach, I need that hat, so I'm willing to kill you for that hat," right? That meant that American mentality doesn't exist in the majority of first world countries. So
Right.
that just people don't think about taking unless you're just like, "Hey, I'm a walking target. I'm an idiot. Take my wallet." And then, yeah, hell yeah, they will.
So
It's different.
I took a friend to New York City. She had never been. This is years ago, probably almost 20 years ago. And she had never been, and we took the train into the city. She did, she didn't understand the whole culture of New York City. So I had to explain it to her, and she's like, "It's really not that bad." I said, "Oh, okay, like you're gonna argue with me, but whatever." So we get there, and I said, "The number one thing you don't want to do when you're walking around New York City," Chris, you could probably answer this. What is the number one thing you don't want to do when you're walking around New York City?
I didn't spend a lot of time in New York, to be honest with you, so
No.
I don't want to. I don't want to guess.
I feel like just talking or showing anything of value.
That
Just
and looking up and
looking at
taking
anyone.
pictures of everything.
Yeah, right.
They'll
I'm a
know you're a
tourist.
tourist. Like I told her, I said, "Look, you're going to see me walk straight through people. If they don't move, I'm going to knock them down. They get shoulder blocked, and that's just it's the whole thing up there,
New York City's interesting because just you don't acknowledge anyone because
No.
most people are strung out high or
Right.
screwed up, and if you acknowledge them, you're not dealing with like a civilized human. You're dealing with someone like on drugs or like drunk or whatever it may be. So like it's best just to not acknowledge anybody. You'll do a lot better.
Chris, did you break your phone?
nope.
Okay.
Everything just started echoing, but
Let
it
me look.
stopped. Sorry, guys.
No worries. Just make sure
He's ruining the show, Zach.
he's ruining the show. Last time
Somebody's got to do it.
But like I think I've talked about this before, but Japan is one of the safest countries on the planet of Earth. Like if you went there, you would
Have you
it
been?
would change your life and how you see everything. Like I won't.
Have you been to Japan?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It will make you see Okoe as the ghetto. Let's put it that way. Like
Well.
just because like they don't have the crime. Like
It's
you
very,
don't.
very clean too, isn't it?
It's a mentality and a culture that has a formality, respect, and old world to it that has not brought in the portion of American culture that's self-centered and selfish and coveting and greedy and unethical. They have respect, right? So we lost that here as a generality, of course. But
Well, like I said, it's a very clean country too.
and there's consequences. I mean, if you take someone's purse, you're going to jail. 99%. God, the conviction rate is in the 90s. So, like, let's say we talk about these big cities. Oh, the crime's worse. It's better. Blah 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 blah. Law enforcement. This. It's really about what the prosecution's like. Are people
Right.
getting prosecuted, and that will determine the outcome of future crime and what people know the consequences are. Well, if they got prosecuted 100% of the time to the extent of their crime by the book, it would go down. One, because more people would be incarcerated, but two, more people would. Criminals don't always do this, but enough to, weigh the consequences in certain times that they don't want to be a fourth time recidivist. So in Japan, you don't have that. It's you take something, you're going to jail. And
Well,
so
should
they
bring it
don't.
back. But let me tell you what, I will say this: growing up very close to New York, we spent a lot of time in New York. Obviously, my grandparents lived in Brooklyn. We used to go into the city for the parade every year, Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. My
That's the
father
gay pride
loved
parade,
that.
yeah.
Oh, he loved it. And but in '84, when we were traveling cross country, we went to Chicago. And Chicago is a big city like New York, but I could not get over. And as a kid, this hit me how clean Chicago was versus New York.
Back then.
Now, I don't know. I don't think it's that way now. Obviously, Chicago's turned into just a terrible, terrible hellhole. All big cities to be, from what I've seen. Obviously, they're just showing us the worst parts, but like I see video of Philly's there's some bad areas in
Philly's
Philly.
disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
Philly's always been a dump.
I've never been a fan of Philly.
Smells like shit too.
New
York.
New York was so good back in the late 80s. When Giuliani was in charge, you could walk around New York City and had no fear. Now I have no desire to go to New York.
See, New York to me, like, I feel pretty comfortable in most areas. It's just when it starts getting dark and you're not in like a real heavily lit area, then you get a ton of homeless and drug-induced drunken attention. Again, like you'll get people who will literally like just start screaming at you because they don't know what's going on, and then you don't acknowledge them, and then the next thing you know, they're following you 2 feet away saying, hey, you're racist, this is what I'm going to do to you. So a lot of that crap, but just walking around during the day and stuff, or in busy areas, I certainly haven't felt like, I think that's true anywhere, but I wouldn't. New York City's not a place I would go like on a dark alley at night, just because you're gonna run into something.
Would you go to back to London with all the problems they're having right now?
London's probably my favorite city in the world.
I know, but
that would be hard for me
to issues.
Well, they do, but again, like same with Paris, like a lot of that stuff, like immigrant crime and that kind of stuff, it's actually like it's not really in the touristy areas as bad. It's usually more in certain wards of the city that you aren't necessarily going to, because there's bad part like East London, there's bad parts, Canary Wharf and stuff are just like not that great. There's different wards in Paris that are like all Middle Eastern or all this culture, whatever, and they're considered, dangerous. But you don't necessarily go there. So, I mean, it's kind of a loaded question. You're not, as a tourist or whatever, you're not going to usually spend time in the areas that you hear about on the news. So now I would acknowledge, London, the UK is just kind of out of control in a lot of ways, but yeah, it's still my favorite city, I would say, just hands down, just because from a tourist standpoint, it's just.
So when we were coming home on the train from Miami, there was a Brit family sitting across from us, and we got in a conversation with them, and they told us like how horrible it is over there right now. Now they did not get into like the crime or the
it's bad to live there for sure.
The immigration problems they're having.
Yeah,
they said that is a problem, but the big problem is the taxation that the government is doing to them.
Right.
They tax them for everything. Farmers,
their energy costs, are very difficult too, because you're getting energy from other countries, and now bringing political and war and world issues where, we can get cheap oil. All we have to do is buy it from Nord Stream from Russia so they can buy weapons and kill people. Okay, that's great. So like, it's not great. There's a lot of not great things about it.
Like they're telling farmers we'll pay you if you don't grow.
Right.
Which I heard, I did not realize it, but they did that.
The U.S. has that too. There's incentives to keep fields fallow and refertilized and everything in certain situations anywhere you go. But just a lot of things are out of control there, like housing. London's extremely expensive to live for a number of reasons. And it's gotten difficult. So I'll say in the same sentence, probably my favorite city in the world, would never want to live there.
No,
Because
London. Look, when I went there in '86, London
not
was a
because
fun
it's
town.
not awesome, it's because it's not livable.
London was definitely a fun town when I went there.
It is still a fun town. It's just not livable.
Right. I haven't been there since '86, so I can't.
And that's what the Brits, Chris probably has 89 British neighbors just because he's in Celebration, but most of them will tell you the same thing. Like, they love it, but they can't live. They just can't live there.
Well, I did not like France when I was there.
Well, that's a shame.
Well, so I learned from a gentleman that I was in the wrong place. I was in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And Paris is beautiful and all, but like the Parisians are just not nice people at all.
Depends how you look at it. They're just honest.
And
it would be like if someone came up to you in a storefront in Orlando, started screaming at you in Spanish, and you were like, "I don't speak your language." You would feel like, oh, that's offensive to say to someone. They would not. So you just have a lot more blunt honesty, to be honest with you. And like, if you try at the culture, they're actually extremely nice. If you don't try, they're just going to be extremely honest, and you deserve it. It's just we're not used to that here because we have this
it wasn't anything to do
culture.
with that. I mean, obviously, I didn't speak French, but I asked. Here I am, a teenager. I wasn't even like adult or anything. I was just there as a teenager, and I asked somebody for directions. Just said, "Hey, man, do you know where this is?" All they had to say is, "I don't speak English." Whatever, that'd be fine. But they didn't. The guy got all offensive and yelled at me, "Effing American," and then spit in my face. Now we're throwing hands. So
I will say, France is one of the most non-English speaking. The surprising thing about France is you think, oh yeah, big city. If I go to Paris, everyone's going to speak English. No, like you're going to get more English in Rome. You're going to get more English in Japan. You're going to get more English like pretty much anywhere else other than Paris. It's just they don't accommodate it, and you don't have to. It's like it's their country, so they are very proud of that. And I don't see that as a horrible thing because I love that we have culture in the U.S. and celebrate it, but I prefer not to have people scream at me in their native language if my native language in the U.S. is the United States and I'm on my own soil. I prefer this. I feel the same way that they're talking to you. Let's put it that way. The same way that guy acted towards you, if someone screamed at me in French in Orlando, I'd feel the same way. I probably wouldn't react the same way, but I'd be like, dude, F off. Like, get out of my face. This is America. I will talk your talk when I go to your land. When you come to mine, you will.
Well, I didn't even yell at the guy. I just asked
to assimilate to some extent.
I asked him where this place was, and I get yelled at. And I'm like, I was twice his size. I was almost willing to go to jail. I was going to throw this guy a beating right then and there. But I said, you know what? I'm in Paris. I don't even know how I'm going to get home. So I left. But I will say when I went to Scotland, the Scots were awesome.
Yeah, they're really
couldn't understand the Irish word they were saying.
So are the Irish. They're hard to understand though too. I was in Santorini. It's an island off Greece, and we didn't have a car rented or anything because it's not a big island. But like we decided we kind of wanted to go around the island and see some of the other cities, and it's just easier to rent something. So I'm seeing people on ATVs and cars. I'm like, I definitely don't want a car because you can't drive here. There's no road. But I walked past a guy with they just have on the street people who rent out mopeds and scooters, and I didn't know this, but you need a specific separate scooter license other than your American. And so I'm like, hey, can I rent one of those? And how much? And he was a native Grecian. And I'm like, do I need a license? Meaning, do I need a separate than my American? He was just like, fuck you. And he's just like, starts going at me. And I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. Just started. But you know what? That's just like, their culturally is like, they're very, they're not going to pussyfoot, right? Like, we do that in America, but a lot of countries don't do that. And I got to be honest with you, I have a respect for that because what you see is what you're getting. So like in Italy, they're really nice to you, but you just feel like behind their back, they're just like that dumbass. Like you get that feeling.
Kind of like up with you?
No, just in general. Like, I've experienced that. Whereas in like other European countries, they're just what you see is what you get. So at least at least you know what you're getting. And I'm cool with that. I respect that because like I don't have to think about, this person's being nice to me. When I turn around, are they literally going to like slit my throat?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek, I have to bounce, guys. I got to get a hold of my mom and make sure she's doing okay. She just gave me a call. She doesn't normally call me this late, so I want to make sure she's okay.
Cool.
But thanks for having me on. And
She called to tuck you in.
I'll see you guys next week, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
See you.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Peace.
All right, buddy. That's all right.
And then there were two.
I lost my co-host last week. Today we lose our guest. That's all right. Whatever.
But I mean, in general, I think that
I mean, listen,
you do need to go outside the U.S. for culture because it's not you're not getting a lot of it here. You're getting a majority of
right
where people are immigrating from, but that's
so my
far
aunts,
less than
now
the
this
rest
is
of the world.
obviously back in the 70s or whenever it was. They went to Egypt. They went to Israel. My mom says Israel. She would have moved there. She loved it. She absolutely loved Israel.
It's
I mean, there's
supposed to be
so many
beautiful.
places I'd love to go see, but right now, Lorian and I have talked about it, and we would just like to get an RV and just travel the country. I mean, I'll go to Canada. I'm going to cut through Canada because I got to go to Alaska. I really want to go to Alaska. That's one of the 50 states I've not been to, and I would really like to go. Like I said, I really don't have a desire to go to Hawaii. I've been to all the other states. There's many states I'd like to go back to again. I'd love to go to Utah, Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, all during the summer, obviously.
Hawaii's worth it.
I don't know. I can't drive there. Would you drive there if they built a bridge?
To where?
Hawaii.
Oh my word! It's like 3,000 miles from LA.
It'd be a long drive, brother. They'd have to build a
No.
Buc-ee's every couple thousand miles.
No, that's not feasible.
I know, obviously.
And I wouldn't do it anyway because that would be oh my word, that would have to be like that would for sure have to be a minimum of a 40-hour drive. That's impossible, dude.
It's like driving from New York to LA. That's 3,000
Right,
miles.
but you're on a continent, not on an ocean.
Right,
Like, can you imagine being on the 7-mile bridge to Key West for another
3,000 miles?
3,900 miles? Oh, I just did 7 miles. I got 3,953 to go. Like, that's insane, man.
No, I could not. No,
No
obviously.
one could. You would be, there's just not, no, that's
When you fly to Hawaii, is it a nonstop flight?
almost always connects in LAX. It just depends on your airline, but like if I were to get one to Hawaii today, maybe maybe Dallas to LAX, but possibly LAX to Hawaii too. So it would probably either go to Dallas to LAX or just LAX, and then it would go to Hawaii. For American. But if you were like Delta, you might hit Atlanta, and then most airlines would hit LAX and then go to Hawaii after that.
What is your favorite airline?
Well, that changes every few years, right? Just because they go bankrupt and then they grow. Delta, I think, is by far the best domestic airline, hands down, right now. It's important when you choose an airline to choose an airline and stick with the airline. Because you can get points, rewards, benefits, perks. It's just, if you're loyal, then I don't know how to explain it, but being loyal to American, if I get caught in one of those delays where people are at an airport for 2 days, I'm not at the airport for 2 days. I'm in the lounge on the next flight to Tampa in 5 minutes. So like, because you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not really, it's about choosing one and sticking one. And we chose American, I think in 2015 or 16, and they were like the same size as Delta and the same quality at the time. And I've been loyal to them, and I love their. A reason why we chose it was because they had great international partners at the time: British Air, Finnair, Tahitian. You know, all the airs are their partners. Whereas Delta, it's typically like the Virgin flights. But fast forward today, Delta with the Virgin partners are way better.
Right.
But I will say any international flight is better than domestic in terms of quality service, food. They're just better, a lot of them. So like when you get it out in LAX and you're going to take like, you might take American, but you might be on like Tahitian Air or something like that. It's just a better flight, you know. So I mean, my favorite airline is American just because I'm American, but it's by far not the best airline right now. So
I saw a video on Facebook where they were talking about this, like, oh man, this airline, it looked ridiculous.
probably Emirates.
You had your own bedroom and
Yep.
it was, oh
No, it's about 20 grand for that.
yeah, I'll just pony up for that.
If you want to fly to Dubai on Emirates, yeah, and in your own little suite, you can do that for 20 grand. I mean, at that point, you're almost at that point you can crowd share a private jet with 5 other couples for cheaper. So,
Well, supposedly I'm going to be going to Dubai sooner than later.
why?
Bob wants to take a bunch of us over there.
Really?
Yeah.
He's gonna take you to, dude. Oh my word, that's quite a gesture. Dubai's not cheap,
When you got favor, brother.
huh?
I said, when you got favor, brother.
That's insanity, man. Most people would kill for that.
I'd
I'd kill for a friend who took me to Dubai. That's insanity.
I think Dubai is a country I'd like to check out. I'm kind of amazed by how cool it looks.
Yeah.
Like it's a man-made. Have you been?
No, my wife wants to go. I kind of don't.
It's a man-made island.
I mean, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, UAE are just, there's oil wealth and, it's just I mean, go to West London. It's the same damn thing in terms of like the people, the money and all that. It's just Dubai's got the crazy buildings. Dubai, I'm sure Dubai is probably like one of those places where you got to see it to experience it for sure.
Right.
I feel like it's like would keep you in shock and awe just at looking at the buildings and the infrastructure for 2 or 3 days, and then you feel like you were in like a billionaire's Las Vegas, pretty much.
Right.
Which
I don't know. Is it a bunch of casinos over there? I didn't know.
No, I didn't mean that casinos. I just meant the money. That's where the highest money is in the entire world.
Yeah, because they don't allow gambling over. And
no, it's very safe. But
they showed a guy actually how he was showing how safe it was. He was going into a convenience store, and he was parked his Lamborghini in the parking lot, left his keys in it, left his phone in it, his wallet in it. Went
because a Lamborghini is like a Nissan Kicks in Dubai. No,
I'm
it's
just
like
saying,
that's a literal statement.
In his car, and his car was open, and he just went in and did his shopping.
In fact, a $300,000-$400,000 Lamborghini is probably a piece of shit in Dubai. I mean, if you don't have the top end McLaren or what is that $2 million car? That they
Bugatti.
have. Yeah, if you don't got that, man, I mean, I would think a base Lamborghini is a piece of shit.
I don't know.
Because listen, and this is what, yes, definitely do want to go and experience it. This is what I would expect, though, that it's fine to be around, but you're kind of like annoyed with it after a while. The money is so much more than you can imagine that you can't hang, you never will hang. And the amount of wealth that's being spent around you is impossible for your brain to fathom, because these are people with minimal net worths of $100 million. Many billionaires, many 100 millionaires. You don't see, I'm sorry, but Orlando has them and they have a lot of them, but you are not around them very often, okay? And now you're surrounded. So if you go to West London, if you go to Dubai, if you go to Abu Dhabi, if you go to Monte Carlo, the casino, the car, it's kind of like, you almost feel like, this is cool to be around for a minute, but I don't want to live like this. Like, I don't want to live where everything has to be Gucci and everything I do has to cost 30 grand.
Right. And that's kind of like when we just went to Miami a couple of weeks ago. I enjoyed visiting.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the life and the party. And Like, dude, I woke up at one time at like 3 a.m. or something to go to the bathroom, and I looked out the window, and it was still bumper to bumper traffic and everything. It was like New York City, you know. But I definitely would not want to live in Miami. No. Hey, we got some viewers over on YouTube. I saw that.
Hey, that's my friend Mike.
Mike's on there.
What up, Mike?
I told Mike we got to have him back on the show.
Oh yeah, he was on the show.
Oh,
Did we have a rough? Why did the VIX go up today and the market go down? Was that because honestly, like in terms of world stuff, we have progress with Russia and Ukraine, right? Or is that just a bunch of people saying no, we don't have any progress? I was. Let me see what the VIX ended at today. I know it was like in the 14s, and now it's.
I think
like,
my son's watching too. I think Ashton jumped. I think Ashton jumped on. I think he's watching too.
Yeah, the VIX is at 15.5. So yeah, the market, the Dow actually, Mike, the Dow is almost break even for the day. NASDAQ, okay, you're saying it's rough because you deal with NASDAQ. That's a 1.5 down, but the rest are really not. Russell 0.78 and S&P 0.59. That's not a train wreck, dude. That's just, I don't know why it is, but yeah. Just commenting on Mike saying rough day in the market. So
yeah, I know.
That's because he's a NASDAQ guy, a ETF guy. So yes, for Mike, it was probably a rough day. But
I don't even look at the stock market because then I'll start crying.
I look at it in terms of because like it's always just an indicator of confidence and consumption, and it kind of correlates with a consumer retail business. So that's why I look at it. I don't really care that much about stocks.
I'd like to have him back on. And Mike, when you come back on, I want to talk about crypto. I want your input on crypto. Is it going to be a flash in the pan?
I don't think Mike deals with crypto a lot. I might deal with crypto more than Mike. Well, Mike, is that true or false? He's here. Hold on 1 second. What are you doing, dude? Just business as usual. Stocks going on, but I still why the volatility today at Mike?
He can hear you,
Right, I know, but I want to know why.
I think YouTube's a little behind too. I think it's a couple seconds behind.
I want to know why the VIX was up and the NASDAQ was down today. Because it's not like world events really. I didn't feel like anything was shaking today with tariffs or Russia, but
it's just like business. He just says just business as usual, stocks up and down.
Yeah, but he said rough day, and he kind of was for NASDAQ. 1.5 is, it's not a catastrophe, but it's not so great. Maybe he just bends down.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm reading into it too far. Past couple months done well. Volatility from a lot more tariffs. Yeah, people taking profits. That's true. Oil prices dropping if Russia peace. Isn't that good? Isn't oil down being a good thing? Why is that a bad thing?
I don't know. What is the cost they want the oil barrel to be at for us to make money?
I don't know, but OPEC knows exactly where it needs to be to keep us from pumping our own. Even though we can, but like it's crazy. They always determine the price, supply and demand, but then also they know exactly where to keep the price for the maximum profit without being too expensive to seek alternative energy sources. It's like a science. There's like a formula for it. I've been exposed to it at one point or the other, but it's way it's so far past my pay grade. So, but it exists. It's real.
We have like 300 years worth of oil, I think, just under Colorado.
Oh yeah, well, we have the most resources here anywhere. Like,
I don't know why we just don't do it.
I hate to say this because it sounds awful, but we're probably the country that not probably. We are the country that needs the rest of the world the least. So, like, let's say you built a wall around the entire country and manufactured everything here. It would be expensive as hell for a few years, but I do believe within like 10 years, it would be like very comparable, and you would have people like minimum wage would be like $50 an hour from the market, the market, not from the government, It's just because you can get everything here, but you have to invest and you have to set it up, and regulations have to allow you to. But we're certainly the most capable of country of anyone of being self-sustainable, I
All
would
right. Well,
say.
here's a sticky question for you. It's because you came from the automotive industry up there.
Yeah.
Do you think if the unions hadn't taken over the way they did, that the automotive industry would be twice as strong or would have died?
What part of what are you considering strength? Staying in Detroit?
Manufacturing.
Yeah, no, but you say would it be twice as strong or died? Do you mean less offshoring, like more American manufacturing?
As strong or died because the union is what kept everybody together and kept us strong.
So it's a factual answer that it would be stronger without the unions, because all the new domestics, Toyota and Honda, kick our ass. They're the only OEM domestically that still produce sedans at wide scale, which tells you a lot, because people, what Ford or Chevy sedan do people still buy? A Malibu here or there, a Fusion here or there? Do they exist? Because Camrys, Corollas, and Integras and TSX
And
or
Kias
TLX,
and Hyundais.
Korean and Japan, right?
I think domestically,
Korean and Japanese new domestics are non-unionized.
right.
They are the most domestically produced and assembled and sourced of any brands, because they have a regional mindset. And that right there is your factual answer, that I would consider strength keeping more manufacturing in America than being imported. And if it wasn't unionized, I do believe much more would have stayed here. Yes. And so
okay,
even though the crane operator's getting $50 an hour at GM, you would have a bajillion other small towns where people were making $100,000 a year with a tiny cost of living, manufacturing for the supply chain. 100% hands down. I don't consider that an opinion.
Okay. And so I think I have not been in the new car industry in years.
Yeah.
Many years. I shouldn't say not 10, but close to it probably. So I don't know what the new cars are in the market, but I think domestically Ford, Ram, and Chevy probably dominate the truck industry. That's what they are now known for. I don't even know if they have, if it's not an SUV or a truck, I can't name an American car.
Correct. There probably is no more than one or two maximum.
I mean, Lincoln maybe still has some cars, maybe Mercury, or not Mercury, Buick.
I don't know, man. Buick's, I mean, what does your daughter have, an Vista? Or?
You're right. No, it's starts with the E. I don't know, but
now that's a killer looking vehicle, but it's a crossover. It's probably the closest thing they have left to a sedan. And Buick used to have the LeSabre and the big, boats. They don't have any of that no more. No Regals, no Centuries, was it? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. And look, maybe Chevy, maybe they have the Corvette.
Yeah, okay. Sports cars.
A Malibu or an Impala.
I don't think they have those. I think it's pretty much a sports car market. Yeah. And then they tried to make that all EV, which was the stupidest, subsidized, dumbest idea anyone ever thought of, just because they wanted government money. Horrible idea.
I'm talking out my butt, so let me go look it up. Let's look at the vehicles that they have. So trucks, electric, SUVs, performance. They don't even have sedans listed. This is Chevy. So the electric cars they have, Chevy is just trucks and SUVs.
Yep.
All right, Ford.
So why do you think that only the Korean and Japanese automakers have sedans that sell? Besides the fact that they manufacture in the South and no cars really sell up north. Why do you think that is? You get more value. You get a better car.
Making them.
What's that?
Nobody else is making them.
Right. Same goes with minivans too, right? The only minivans are Toyotas and Hondas.
So here's what Ford has now, what they call cars and SUVs. The Mustang.
Sports car.
The Escape. Crossover. Bronco Sport.
Crossover.
Lorianne calls it the man bun.
Oh, I hate Bronco Sports.
The Bronco, the Explorer, and the Mustang Mach-E and the Expedition.
Yep. So they have no passenger vehicles.
Right.
I'm sorry, they have no sedans. I don't even think they make a Mustang and a sedan anymore. No, they don't. They never.
Oh,
did.
you know who makes cars? Dodge. They make the
Charger, Challenger.
Charger and Challenger. Yeah.
That's a sports car. It's a muscle car. No one makes a sedan.
You're right.
I think
Other
the
than-
Charger you can get in a sedan.
Other Lincoln, maybe.
I haven't heard the name Lincoln and no, dude. Lincoln's one of those, just like Lincoln has like 7 different, they're like Mazda now. They have like 7 different SUV lines, and that's it. There's like the Nautilus, the Aero, something, there's a bajillion of them. You're like, holy shit. It's like BMW X1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know.
You're
or
right.
Mazda
They only
C-
have it's called a Corsair, a Nautilus, an Aviator, and a Navigator.
Are all SUVs.
Nobody makes cars anymore,
Correct.
except for the Japanese and the Koreans.
It's been that way for a while.
Holy mackerel!
So now, did I answer your question
Yeah,
in an enlightened manner?
yeah.
So the Japanese and Korean mindset is to source regionally, to manufacture regionally, and to keep everything private industry. And they're way more successful, and they're higher quality, they're better value. And as a result, people manufacturing in, what is it, Greensburg or Huntsville,
And you know
South
what- you know
Carolina
what
and
Chrysler
Alabama,
makes?
they're making incredible money for those guys, private companies.
You know what Chrysler makes?
Shit.
Pacifica and the Voyager.
Well, the Pacifica started as an SUV, and now that's a minivan, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's I don't understand it. It looks just like the other one. So
Voyager, that's a minivan.
no, yeah. That's their vehicles. They have those 3
don't-
vehicles.
They don't make a Voyager anymore.
Yes, they do.
Really? Do they make a 300M?
No,
They might make that.
no
Yeah,
cars.
so
It's
no.
all those. That's it. I just read the 3 cars they make.
Yep.
And then Jeep has the Cherokee.
Guess what other company is non-unionized that has cars besides Japanese and Korean?
Tesla.
Yep. So there's your answer.
But all right, let's look at the average Joe from the Midwest. Do you think he's going to buy an electric car?
No, just in less to do with electricity, more to do with the weather. You need an SUV or truck. You just if you lived in the snow long
I'm
enough
not
and you
knocking
haven't had a truck or
Teslas.
SUV for the last 10 years, you're risking your life every winter.
Right. I'm not going to knock a Tesla because I think they're kind of cool. I all these other little electric companies that are popping up left and right are pretty cool. There's a one called Edison. There's
Edison.
obviously Rivian. There's a couple
Yeah.
others, but
Rivian costs more to make than to sell.
it's a very select crowd. There's someone who just wakes up. I don't know that I would ever wake up one day and go, I need to buy an electric car. Now,
I would never want one.
no, if I worked, don't knock everything over, bro.
I'm trying to put my socks on. Go ahead.
If I was ever to like work, far away, maybe that's a different story because I'm not going to drive the Raptor to, 60 miles one way.
I still wouldn't do it. I would buy a hybrid. I'd buy a hybrid.
So my friend Oliver is the GM of the Ford store out in Titusville, and he lives in Orlando. So he bought one of those Mustang Mach-E's.
That's
And he drives that. That's his commuter car. He also has a Raptor. He's got a BMW. He's got 7 cars. He's a car nut.
Maybe he's a car guy.
Yeah, I think he is. He gets he'll get a trade in, a spectacular trade in. He got a BMW in, and he has to wait a certain amount of time. And as soon as that time hits, if he wants it, he buys it.
Smart.
Yeah. So, but he has a Raptor Bronco like Lorianne's, and he just told me about the new horsepower increasing module they can put in it. It bumps it up a little bit, but I went on ChatGPT and was looking at different options to increase the horsepower, and there's other ways I could increase my horsepower by like 70, 80 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Instead of adding this module.
There's a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
No, I don't hate on it. I think there's a place for electric vehicles. I think there's a market for electric vehicles. I think there's some good things about electric vehicles, but it's not my cup of tea.
Right.
No hate. Just I would love a Toyota Highlander SUV.
They're nice. They're nice.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
One of the best cars you can buy
Toyota's awful proud of their product, though.
because it's good.
I went and looked at the alleged truck that is comparable to my Raptor, not near the same amount of horsepower, and it was $92,000.
A Tundra?
Yeah, the Tundra Pro, whatever it is.
TRD.
Yeah.
Those are awesome, though. They're really cool.
I agree. It's a nice truck. It's not as big as my truck, and
Yeah.
not near same horsepower. But what are you going to do? Not everybody can drive a dinosaur.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap up.
That's right. I was just about to say it's 7:30. It's the witching hour for you.
Rapid snap.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on another live show. Remember, we do live every Tuesday, and then we record on Thursdays to get it online, lickety split. So check us out. We are everywhere. We're on all the socials. Please follow us on all the socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Oh, sorry, it's not Twitter anymore. It's called X.
X.
YouTube. We just got on TikTok. We are on all the platforms that do podcasts. So Apple, Spotify, just check us out. Look up No Brainer Show and you will find us. There we are, right there for entertainment in your steaming ears. Until next time, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, enjoy, and we be out. Peace. So our